YN got off the bed and changes to this. In's mother said, handling a dress to YN. Why, Mom? Is there anything special today? YN asked while reviewing her assignments. We're having dinner with the Huang family, so get up and changed, her mom said hurriedly. With Huang's, then Hyunjin is gonna be there. I don't want to go, Mom. YN exclaimed with irritation. Why? What's the problem? Hyunjin is kind and gentle boy. In's mom defended Hyunjin. No, he's not, Mom. He's annoying and rough, Mom, YN said, annoyed just talking about the guy. YN, don't talk about him like that. It's not good. You know, just go and change. Whether you like it or not, you will come with us, In's mom said firmly. YN just sighed in surrender, getting up from the bed, grabbing the dress her mom want for her. Then she went to the bathroom. After a few hours, they arrived at the restaurant where the two families will gather. The two families sitting facing each other with a warm atmosphere within them, as the adults once are the only one talking, while YN and Hyunjin are just busy with their own food. So, how's your business going, Seol? In's father asked, Hyunjin's father. It's doing well. This year's sales for the land estate is doing well. How about yours, Joni? Hyunjin father said, and asked In's father. It's doing well too. Right now I'm overseeing construction projects to ensure they are built safely and efficiently, In's father replied. How about you, YN dear? How's school? Hyunjin's mom asked. It's okay, Auntie. Actually, our exams are finished, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna top my class again this semester, Yen said kindly. That's great to hear, dear. Hyunjin's mom adored YN a lot. How about you, Hyunjin? In's mom asked Hyunjin. I'm doing well too, Auntie, but I top my class every semester, Hyunjin said, emphasizing the word every that make YN annoyed, because Hyunjin started it again. That's great to hear, Hyunjin, In's mom said. How about your games? When was it? Hyunjin's father asked. It's doing great, Dad. We won last match, and we are heading for the nationals, Hyunjin said while he smirks at YN. We are too, Uncle. We are going for the nationals, YN said, not losing to Hyunjin. In's family business is construction engineering. They're on one of the top 3 constructions companies in Seoul. As for Hyunjin's family business is a real estate. They're on the #1 real estate company in Seoul. In's parents and Hyunjin's parents have been friends ever since high school. But even though their parents are close, YN and Hyunjin are not. In fact, they're rivals. They've been rivals ever since their child. Even though they're in the different courses and different sports or anything, they like to compare their achievements towards one another, and their parents find it cute that they're competitive towards each other. Congratulations to the both of you. Practice a lot, but make sure not to injure yourself. Health comes first, okay? In's mom said, reminding the two who are busy glaring at each other. At the school, the university grounds are noisy because of the chatters, screams, and running students who are now in front of the bulletin school board. Today is the announcement of those who topped the exam in each course. I'm pretty sure Hyunjin is the one who tops in management. Hopefully, YN topped the engineering department. The whispers of the students can be heard in front of bulletin board. YN and Hyunjin, who coincidentally walked in the school at the same time, heard the whispers. They looked at each other competitively. I will win now. For sure I'm gonna top the engineering department, In said arrogantly. Don't get your hopes up. You might be the second one. I'm sure I'm gonna too. The management department again, Hyunjin said with the same arrogance. In response, YN gritted her teeth with an annoyed expression on her face. Really? Let's see. Why don't we make a bet? Let's compare our overall scores. If win, you will be my servant for a whole month, including weekends, Yen said confidently. Sure. And if I win, you will come and watch my practices and my next games, And if you don't follow what I want, there will be punishment, Hyunjin said, smirking. Wait, why is there other punishment? That's not a discussion. It's punishment for me what you want me to do when you win. Then there are other punishments exempt from that. YN said, doubtful. You are the one who suggested this bet, and then suddenly you wonder, are you afraid of what I can do to you? Hyunjin said, smirking while coming closer to YN. YN, who looked a bit flustered, looked away. Of course not. Why should I be afraid of you? Then deal! YN said, flustered. Okay, princess, deal, Hyunjin said teasingly. Then he walked towards the bulletin board, leaving YN there in her own world. But she quickly snapped out of it, running towards the bulletin board. Hyunjin smirked, seeing their scores, while YN just glared at it, not believing what the post says. Then Hyunjin faced her with his annoying smirk that made YN more angry. So, princess, I won, Hyunjin said. He won by just 3 points different from YN, even though they both topped their respective departments. Their scores are different. Don't forget our deal, princess, he said as he walked away from the crowd to his classroom. Meanwhile, YN just glared at him as she squeezed her fist. Then she walked away, stamping her feet in annoyance. As she went to her classroom, she walked to her desk and slapping her bag angrily as she sat down. Babe, what's with the look on your face? Don't tell me it's about Hyunjin again, Ella said, seeing her best friend annoyed. Is Hyunjin bullying you again? Andre asked. Don't mind him, Andre. He's just so annoying and I can't stand it, YN said, growl. Calm down, YN, your heart. Go ahead. If this continues, you might not realize that you are already falling in love, Ella said teasingly. What's with you, Ella? How can YN like Hyunjin if they're always fighting? Andre said, irritated that Ella always saying that to YN. Right. Andre is right, and I will never like him, YN said as she bring her books out from her bag. Okay, fine. But YN, don't you think that's his way of catching your attention? You know what Elder says, the more you hate, the more you love. Ella teased again. Stop it, Ella. Don't tease YN with that Hyunjin anymore, Andre replied instead. Why are you always interrupting our conversation, huh? And why you seem so pissed off when I mentioned Hyunjin with YN? Do you have feeling for YN? Ella asked straightforwardly. She's irritated on the fact that Andre always interrupting when she's having a conversation with YN about Hyunjin. Andre didn't respond and just closed his mouth. Hey, stop it, Ella. Andre is just worried as my friend, like you, YN said, defending Andre. Yeah, like always. You know what? Never mind, Ella said, rolling her eyes back at Andre. After a few minutes, the professor arrives, and everyone who's been busy chatting come back to their respective seats, and the class started. The lunch break comes, and all the students have gone to the cafeteria. YN and her friends line up to get food, when suddenly loud screams heard because Hyunjin and his friends come in. YN sees it and rolled her eyes, feeling irritated because he saw her again. When Hyunjin suddenly joined the queue. Hyunjin, why did you join? Didn't you see that there was a queue? You're in the back, YN scolded Hyunjin. I know, but it's okay, right, ladies? Hyunjin said, looking at the other students with his handsome face. Of course, the ladies were confused, so they nodded as a response while squealing. That's it, you know the answer, Hyunjin said, smirking as he continues to get a food, while YN just looked at him angrily. After a few minutes, YN and her friends gets a food and they sit down in the empty sits. When suddenly, a man approached YN, chocolates in his hands. Hi, YN, the man greeted her. Hello, YN greeted the man back and smiled a little. This is for you, the man said and gave the chocolates to YN. YN looked at the chocolates, and she was surprised to see her favorite chocolate, so she couldn't say no. Thank you. How did you know my favorite chocolate? YN asked politely. I just heard it somewhere while passing by some of the students here. You know they are gossips, the man said, and that made YN laugh a little. Yeah, thank you for this. YN smiled gratefully. You're welcome. Actually, I'm here because I wanted to ask you something, the man said nervously, as he scrubbed his hands, feeling anxious. YN tilted her head a little in confusion. Are you free after school? The man asked hesitantly. Little did they know someone was observing them a while ago, and he was still furious, seeing the girl laughing and accepting the man's gift. Hyunjin, why haven't you eaten yet? Han asked, seeing that his food was still untouched. Suddenly, Hyunjin stood up and quickly walked towards In's table. Hey, Hyunjin, where are you going? Your food is mine, right? Han shouted as he grabbed Hyunjin's plate and ate his food. On the other hand, Hyunjin quickly walked and sits beside YN, who is still not answering the guy's question. YN, remember, Auntie said I'll take you home, Hyunjin suddenly said, smiling at YN cheekily. YN blinked rapidly in confusion at what he said. I'm sorry, man, but her mother said she has to go home early later, so I have to drop her off at their place later, Hyunjin said mockingly at the man. Ah, is that so? It's okay. Maybe next time, the man said as he walked away, feeling embarrassed. After the man walked away, that's when Hyunjin's words to YN just sank in. Then, YN looked at Hyunjin with her unbelievable look. What did you just say? YN said, as her one eyebrow raised. What did you just do? She said, irritated. Didn't you see? I sent him away, obviously, Hyunjin said, annoyed at what In's actions towards the man earlier. And why did you throw him out? We haven't even finished talking yet, YN shouted. And the students started to look at them, but they just continued to eat like nothing happened, like they were used to this happening. They're really used to it, because whenever a guy approaches YN, Hyunjin will always push him away, and then they'll fight again. Ah, why? Will you accept his proposal? Hyunjin said with his angry eyes. Yeah, why? What's your problem with that? YN said, answering. Hearing that, Hyunjin didn't answer and just looked at YN with his furious eyes, like he didn't like what YN was saying. YN sighed, rolling her eyes back in irritation. That's it, I've lost my appetite, she said, standing up, got the chocolate, and walked away, but she stopped when Hyunjin shouted so loud that she flinched in shock. Put the chocolate down now, Hyunjin shouted, like as a madman, but YN didn't move and just stood there, afraid to move. I said put that chocolate down, Hyunjin said as he walked closer to YN and got the chocolate from her harshly, and he threw it away, with a sound as the chocolate scattered to the floor. YN looked at Hyunjin with her red eyes, both from tears and anger. She don't get it why, every time someone comes to ask her out, Hyunjin will immediately block it. Why can't he just leave YN alone? They act like they are in a relationship, but they don't. In fact, they both hate each other, at least that's YN thought. As Hyunjin sees In's eyes, guilt quickly comes to him. He attempts to hold her hand to apologize, but she quickly runs away, wiping her tears. Hyunjin said, cursing himself at what he did, as he messed his hair, feeling angry at himself for not holding back again. Chan walked closer to Hyunjin, putting his hands on Hyunjin's shoulder, and said, This time, Hyunjin, you went too far, he said seriously. Hyunjin looked at Chan in guilt. I know, Chan, and I feel sorry about it, Hyunjin said, looking down. He knows he went too far. Don't worry, just apologize to YN sincerely. I'm sure you'll be forgiven then, Chan said, comforting his friend. I doubt it, bro. I feel like this time it's not that easy, Hyunjin said seriously as he rubbed his face, not knowing what to do after this. After a week, ever since that happened, YN never paid any attention to Hyunjin again. No matter how many times he teased her, she ignored him. Not until the school announced that the football team would have a tournament and it would start on the weekend. Hearing that, YN remembered her deal with Hyunjin, that she had to go to all his matches to watch, and just by remembering it, she felt angry again. But she don't have a choice. Deal is a deal, and YN doesn't back out on everything she says. She faces it with head up high. Right now, YN is in the bleachers chairs, quietly sitting there, not wanting Hyunjin to see her. But unfortunately, Hyunjin saw her immediately, who warmed up for the game. Hi babe, you make it to our deal, Hyunjin said, smirking. Do I have a choice? And besides, I don't back out at my words, YN said, irritated. Hyunjin smiled at what she said. Here, Hyunjin said and handed her bag to YN. What is this and what do I get for it? She said. Obviously my bag. I'm giving it to you because the game is about to start. And why would you give it to me? You're not my nanny. Why didn't you put it in the dugout? YN said, not taking the bag. Why do you ask so many questions? Just take it, Hyunjin said, annoyed at Ian's continued questions, as he grabbed Ian's hands and put his bag on her. Then he walked out smiling. YE just rolled her eyes as she don't have a choice again. That guy made me nanny, wow! YN said under her breath, as she sat down and placed the bag beside her. The game started. Hyunjin felt energized than ever. Since he knew YN was watching, he just felt like boosting his skills. The game started in favor of his team. They are leading by 2 points. YN, who was busy watching the game, suddenly flinched when a sudden hand touched her shoulders from behind. She looked behind her, and she saw a man smiling at her, and she smiled back politely. YN, I'm your fan. Can I take a photo with you? The man asked, with his eyes sparkling with excitement. Sure. YN agreed, and they took several photos. Take this, YN, as a small thank you, the man said and handed YN a flower, a rose in particular. She accepted it politely, as she didn't want to show off to other people that she wasn't good at. She also didn't want to embarrass the man in front of a lot of people. Hyunjin, who is busy focusing with the game, suddenly misses the goal when his eyes come to see YN with a man. The whistle heard as the third quarter finished. The players went back to the bench to rest a little, while Hyunjin is still on it. Are you okay, Hyunjin? The coach asked him. You seem distracted. Hyunjin looked at his coach and shook his head. No, coach, he answered. Okay, guys, focus. Remember, this is nationals. Don't let your guard down. We need to win this. Okay, the coach reminded his players to stay focused. The whistle blows, meaning the last quarter starts. Hyunjin, who seems to be focused early, now seems so distracted despite the coach's reminder. He missed the goal many times and made a mistake several times. As a result, their opponent gained a 3-point advantage. The coach didn't have a choice but to sit him out, even though he is the star player of the team. Hyunjin, you need to cool down, focus. This is nationals, we can't have mistakes, the coach said angrily. I'm sorry, coach, it won't happen again, Hyunjin said, looking down. Fine, you need to focus. I'll give you 5 minutes to clear your mind, then you need to go back to the game, the coach said. Yes, coach, Hyunjin replied enthusiastically. After 5 minutes, Hyunjin came back to the game, and as he said it wouldn't happen again, he recovered. He scored 3 points straight in a short period of time, and he managed to tie the score with the opposing team. There are only 3 minutes left on the clock, and the ball is in Hyunjin's side. After so many passes, Han passes the ball to Hyunjin, and the last kick happens, hitting the goal, and the buzzers heard, meaning the game is over. Hyunjin team wins, leading by just a point. The crowd cheered in joy. The bench players went to Hyunjin and hugged him in excitement. He also smiled in joy, winning their first game of the tournament. After that, he looked for YN, only to see her surrounded by guys who would like to take a photo with her. Hyunjin went to YN with a stern look on his face. He pushed through the crowd and sees YN with a troubled smile on her face, like she didn't know what to do. He put his arms around her waist and grabbed her closer, like his claiming her. "I'm sorry, boys, but we still have a date, so we have to go," Hyunjin said, smirking. "Let's go," he said as he held In's hand, grabbing her out of the crowd. Then they walked holding hands out of the field, with Hyunjin's bag on In's shoulders. They went to Hyunjin's car. They stopped in front of Hyunjin's car, and Wien put her hands away from Hyunjin as she looked down, feeling shy. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. I didn't know what to do earlier because of the crowd," she said. Hyunjin looked at her, smirking, but more like smiling. "Princess, my help is not free. What will I get in return?" Hyunjin said, teasing YN. The expression on In's face changes. Then she looked up to look at him in the eyes. "I told you, you always want something in return. Take care of that. This is your bag," YN said bitterly as she threw Hyunjin's bag at him harshly. Seeing that she's angry at him again, Hyunjin quickly grabs her hands to make her face him again. "Hey, I'm just joking. There's nothing in return for my help, okay? I just wanted to say sorry to you for what happened last week. I know I became harsh, and I hurt you, so I'm sorry," Hyunjin said softly, while gently rubbing In's hands. YN looked at Hyunjin with her surprised face. She's not expecting that this guy will say sorry to her. But she composed herself and replied, "Let it go, it's over. Let's forget about it. And who said you hurt me?" "Huh? I was just so angry with you, that's why I walked out on you," YN said, denying the fact that she really was hurt that day because of his actions. Hyunjin chuckled at what she said, because he knows the truth. Just by looking at her that day, you knew she were hurt. But he didn't push any further. Maybe this woman would get mad at him again. "Okay, fine," Hyunjin said. "Are you going home? I'll take you," he offered. "Okay, just for you? I didn't bring my car either," YN asked hesitantly. "Yes, I offered, right, princess?" Hyunjin said, teasing her again. "Okay, let's go." YN smiled at him. Hyunjin stared at her, not believing that she just smiled at him. This will probably be the first time that YN smiled at Hyunjin. They went inside the car and drive off. Inside the car, there's only silence. Neither of them speak, because they don't know what to talk about. After a while, the car stops in front of In's house. "Thank you for the drive, Hyunjin," Yen said shyly. "You're more than welcome, princess," Hyunjin said, smiling warmly. Blush quickly came to In's face as she quickly got out of the car and ran inside the house looking flustered. Hyunjin chuckled at In's actions and he drove off, going home. Little do they know, In's mom is watching them from the balcony on the second floor, and a mischievous idea comes to her mind. The next day, In's phone buzzes every time. A lot of notification pops to her phone. Curious to see what's happening, she opened it, and seeing that makes her surprised. "What the hell is this?" YN shouted in shock. What she is seeing now is a photo of her and Hyunjin. Hyunjin's hands on her waist, and them holding hands. It circulated throughout the campus page, congratulating them for being in a relationship. How can they come to a conclusion about our relationship? We're not even in a relationship. We're just enemies, rivals, YN said, speaking to herself frustrated. Meanwhile, at Hwang's home, Hyunjin and his friends are in the pool area having fun. Hyunjin is in the deck chair, sitting there, drinking some juice. Hyunjin, did you see the headline on the campus page news? Han asked, walking closer to Hyunjin, sitting beside him. No, why? What happened? Hyunjin asked in response. Here. Han showed Hyunjin his phone, containing the news of him and YN. Are you and YN really in a relationship? And you didn't tell me, Han said, felt hurt. Stupid, no, Hyunjin said, looking at Han annoyed. Then what is this? Why is this happening? Han asked, confused. It's from yesterday after the game. I just helped YN get out of the field because she was crowded with some fans. That's all, Hyunjin said, explaining. Are you sure? If it's not true, why aren't you doing anything to erase it? And besides, you've been so obsessed with YN for the last few years, Hyunjin. You can't lie to me, Han said, knowing his friend too well. I just didn't like doing anything, Hyunjin said, smirking. You just want to let people think you're in a relationship with YN? Han asked Hyunjin, confused at what his friend wanted. And why not? So no one else can get close to him, Hyunjin said as a smirk formed on his lips. He acts like he was so obsessed. Later that night, the Hwang family and Park family gathered at a fancy restaurant. Seeing the news online, they wanted to acknowledge this issue and know what was going on with their children. Hyunjin's father is the first one to speak. How was your game yesterday, Hyunjin? He asked. It turned out well, Dad. Even though in the middle, I became unstable, but the team supported me, and we won, Hyunjin said, smiling at his father. Good, he replied. How about you, YN? Why didn't you bring your bodyguard with you yesterday? Didn't I say that on weekends? And you don't go to school? You should have a bodyguard with you, Ian's father said seriously. I'm sorry, Dad. I forgot to bring them along with me, but I just went to Hyunjin's game, YN said, explaining. Speaking of that, why are you there? You weren't watching Hyunjin's game yesterday. And who drove you home yesterday? In's father stopped eating and seriously looked at his daughter. I came there because Hyunjin wanted me to, and he's also the one who drove me home yesterday, YN said, responding immediately. That's very unusual for the two of you. You both don't usually get along with each other? What happened? Are the news in school true? Hyunjin's father asked. Hearing that, YN got shocked, but Hyunjin just smirked. But before YN can reply, her mother spoke. Yes, are you two really in a relationship? I saw YN yesterday blushing when she got out of your car, Hyunjin. Ian's mother teased them, while Hyunjin's mother was smiling so happy at the side. Before you answer, YN, we have an important announcement to make for the both of you, Hyunjin's mother said, smiling mischievously. We are proposing a marriage for both of you. Hyunjin's mother squealed in excitement. What? Wait, Auntie, don't say that you think Hyunjin and I are really in a relationship, when in fact we are not, and we never will be, YN said angrily, while Hyunjin is just smirking, pleased at what's happening. I agree with the marriage, Hyunjin said all of a sudden. What? Are you serious right now, Hyunjin? Are you really accepting this marriage? YN said in disbelief. What? And why not? My parents wanted it, so of course I wanted it too, Hyunjin said. No, I'm not accepting this marriage, especially if it's with someone like you, YN said angrily. Hearing her say that, Hyunjin's face darkened. Why, YN? It's for the best of you and Hyunjin, and for the company as well. It will be more beneficial if both companies merge, In's mother said to her daughter. But Mom, I don't love Hyunjin. I don't want to marry someone I don't love and who doesn't love me, Yin explained. Who said I don't love you? Hyunjin suddenly said, with his seriously face. What? What do you mean? Wyan asked in confusion, but Hyunjin didn't answer anything. As a response, Yn deeply sighed. Fine, but can I think about all this first? She said, asking both of the parents. Okay, think about it carefully, then come to us when you've made your decision, okay? Ian's mother said softly. After that night, Hyunjin became even more expressive towards his feelings towards Yn. He started to change. He started to treat her well, and Yn was surprised by these changes. She started to feel something deep in her heart, but she's not sure if everything Hyunjin showed was true or if he was just teasing her. But she can't deny the fact she started to feel butterflies at his actions. Hyunjin now takes her and picks her up from home to school and school to home, and sometimes they go out to eat. Then, when it's lunchtime, Hyunjin will just call her, and there she will see that there is food and drinks waiting for her. But something happens that will change In's view of Hyunjin. The university garden, Yn is taking a nap on Andre's shoulders while there's a coat around Yn, none other than Andre's coat. She's been feeling bad since this morning, but she doesn't want to go to the clinic, so they're here at the university garden to get some air. Are you feeling okay? Andre asked. Ella didn't come today because there was an emergency at their house, so only Yn and Andre were together. It's a bit okay, but my head and my whole body still hurt, Yn replied. Suddenly, Andre hugged Yn from the side. Yn, who didn't feel any malice in Andre's hug, hugged him back, seeking comfort because he was really feeling bad. Suddenly, Hyunjin, who had been looking for Yn for a while because he had been worried about her because she looked pale, saw Andre and Yn hugging each other. Hyunjin stared at them dangerously. Without thinking twice, he walked closer to them and pulled away Yn from the hug harshly. Yn, who her whole body is aching, squealed in pain. What the hell, Hyunjin? Yn said angrily at Hyunjin. Hyunjin, stop grabbing Yn. She is sick. Andre said angrily to Hyunjin. Hyunjin ignored him, and he looked at Yn with furious eyes. What the hell are you two doing? Hyunjin said, clenching his jaw. We're doing nothing. I'm just resting, that's all. Yn said, Hoa. What do you call resting? Why are you hugging? Hyunjin said possessively. There's no malice in that, okay? Yn said started to feel annoyed. There's no malice? This guy likes you, Hyunjin said. Yn blinked in confusion. What if I like Yn? What do you care about? Stop acting like you're her boyfriend. Stop being obsessed with Yn. Andre said he was already full of Hyunjin. He always acted like Yin's boyfriend when a guy touched him. I care because I'm the fiancé, so don't touch my fiancé, Hyunjin said confidently as he smirks at Andre. Then he took Andre's coat off Yn and threw it in front of him. He grabbed Yn away from there. They walked to Hyunjin's car, only when Yn pulled away from his grip. Stop! I can't get you anymore. One moment you're sweet, then one moment you're harsh. What do you really want? What do you want to happen, huh, Hyunjin? And besides, when did I become your fiancé? Remember I said I'll think about it. Yn said, being frustrated. That's where it's going. I'm going to be your fiancé too. Yn, don't you really feel it? Hyunjin said, suddenly being softy. Feeling which one? Yn asked, confused. Don't you really feel how much I love you? Like I'm going crazy. I feel like I'm going crazy when other men approach you. I feel like if one of them, I let them approach you, I'll lose you. I won't let that happen. That's why I don't care if you get mad at me. I'll chase away all your suitors. I don't know when this started, but even though we've considered each other enemies and rivals ever since we were kids, but when I saw you at your debut party, I feel like something changed within me. I started to think that you're cute when you frown, you're beautiful when you're angry. I started to like every little thing you do. And when I saw that when I teased you, called you nicknames, when I saw you blush, that's when I think I have hope in your heart. That's when I started to get possessive, obsessed, or whatever you call it, towards you, Hyunjin said sincerely. So when your mom said they were going to get us both married, I was so happy, because I love you, YN. I've loved you for a long time, Hyunjin said softly, grabbing In's hands gently and move her closer to him. YN is in shock, hearing that from a man she considered enemy. Like he said, they've been rivals ever since they were kids, and hearing from the man who teased her every single day that he loves her surprised her. Honestly, when they were kids, YN have a little crush on Hyunjin, but when he started to tease her nonstop, that little crush sweep away. Hyunjin, YN called him, and he hummed in response. I think I like you. I admit for the past few weeks, I started to feel butterflies to your actions towards me, but I can't still name what I feel is love. But I think I like you enough for me to say this to you, YN said shyly, admitting her feelings. I know, princess, and I will work hard to make you fall for me, deeper that you will name it love. Hyunjin said gently, kissing her forehead. Hyunjin started to court YN since then. They will have a date on weekends, and on weekdays, they will practice together for upcoming tournaments, pending assignments and projects. After a few months, the volleyball tournament begins, and Hyunjin decides to come cheer for YN. He sits there on the bench near where YN can see him. YN sees him and walks towards him. Do well, princess, Hyunjin said gently, kissing her forehead. YN smiled softly in return. Then he went back to their dugout. When Hyunjin looked back, he saw that all the men were bad at looking at him, and he just smirked in return. The game started, the fans cheered in excitement. The game started close, but in the third set, In's team finally overwhelmed the opposing team, and they finally won. The crowd cheered in delight. The fans gathered towards the dugout for them to take a photo with their idol. Wart. Seeing that, Hyunjin quickly stands up towards his sit to YN, who was having a hard time passing by because of the many fans who wanted to take pictures with him. He grabs her hands and takes her away. But before then, someone shouted, YN, who is he? The man asked. YN stopped hearing the question. Then she turned around and smiled. He is the man I love, my fiancé,